Hello and welcome to Sports Tonight. I'm Cecilia Omogbe in Lagos.
What a greetings to you wherever you are in the world watching us. In London, I'm Austin Okonakpan.
All right, it's great to have you, Austin. And of course, it's a loaded package as usual. It's Friday, and of course, the weekend is here. Well, rest is here. All right. But then on this show today, we'll be dealing with the Nigerian Professional Football League. You know, match days will get us talking this weekend. A whole lot of games will get our attention. Also, the EPL, the English Premier League, will also get our attention on the show today. And also, of course, the final list for the FIFA Best Awards. We have all of them, the usual suspects all there. No surprise in this one. We have all the ladies and all the men, you know, in each of the categories that have been nominated. Also, the CAF Confederations Cup, the group stage gets our center stage this weekend. Rivers United, of course, they are in action. They've left Lagos for Congo DR, where they will be facing the Congolese side in Brazzaville. Also, we'll talk about MFM. Yes, what happened to that club? They will not be in NNL this season. We're expecting them to be because they were relegated, but that club is no more. So much to talk about on the program tonight. Of course, Akoje will also be joining us on the program. Akoje Ojekere will be joining us on the program to talk more about MFM and also the under-20 boys, Austin. They are already in Morocco, in Casablanca, getting ready for a one-week training camp before they will move to Egypt for the Africa Cup of Nations under-20 championships, where, of course, the Flying Eagles will be gunning for maybe another title. You need 4 teams from Africa to qualify for the World Cup in Indonesia later this year. So there's so much to talk about on the show tonight, Austin.
I'm really looking forward to, to see what the Flying Eagles can do. I think defending champions from the Waffle, and now they're going into this one. They're getting ready. Ladan Bosso and his team, they seem to have, gone through the process that will make them impress at the under-20 AFCON. And I strongly believe that out of 4 teams, Sicilia and Nigeria can actually, make it to the World Cup. But let's see. It's all about the preparation that they get, the mindset that they take into that one. And of course, let's not forget, we also need to put development at the center of everything we're doing with the age grade teams.
Yeah, under 20. I mean, some under 20 level. I know some players already winning league titles, right? All right.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you could say that. I know everybody jumps at that when I talk about this, but let's not forget that it's still under 20. And out of, if you put 22 on the 20s in the same team, like about 5 will blossom. Let's be sincere, But the other ones, what happens to them, you need to also put them through the development process. That's what I'm trying to talk about.
All right, before Akoje joins us on the program, let's just take a look at the finalists that made it to Casablanca in Morocco for the final campaign before they go to Egypt, where the tournament will be hosted. You have most of the players from academy, as Austin mentioned, yes, developmental. But when you're 18, 19, I think you should be playing in top flights. But we have the finalists for you tonight of the players that will be flying Nigeria's flag in that particular competition. We'll start with, of course, let's start with the goalkeepers. Nathaniel Owonsu plays for Water FC. Yachijoke Anyangboso playing for Giant Brillers FC, and Sahid Akombi for Adoration FC. These are NNL side. But then let's move over to the defenders. Defenders, we have Augustine Unjoku, who plays for Abia Warriors. You also have Solomon Agbalaka, who plays for Broad City. Abel Oguche playing for Telebox in Sweden. I think that's the only foreign-based player we have there. Benjamin Frederick from Nassau United. And Daniel Bameyi plays for Yum Yum FC. Okay, from the midfield, you have Daniel Daga of Dakada FC, Onuche Ogbelu from Nassau United. You also have Caleb Ochedikwe from Mavlon FC. Then Sam Silawa is on attack. Jonathan Nicholas from Simobem FC. Also, you have Mohamed Aminu from Malantaki FC. These are the defenders. In the midfielders, you have funny forward Jude Sunday from Real Safira. You have Francis Ayuba of Nassau United, Olamilekon Adams of Ramon Stars, Ahmed Abdullahi from Gent FC in Belgium, another international, Emmanuel Uchegbu of Plateau United. You also have Riwan Sarike of Maikukele FC. Mavlon, another player from Mavlon. You have Ibrahim Mohammed. These are the players that will be flying Nigeria's flag in Egypt for the Africa Cup of Nations Under 20 Championship. So there's so much to talk about on the show tonight. So we're not just alone, not just Austin and Akoji that is joining us much later. Of course, it's Friday, and Segun Vincent is also in the studio joining us on the program. Yes, Segun, we talked about it. Austin said is for developmental, and when you look at the players that we have right now from the list of players, I mean, these guys, yes, you know, they're not like players that we are familiar with because most of them are, you know, feeders team or playing for other clubs, not the big names on the 20 level. You think this crop of players selected can fly Nigeria's flag?
Well, I'm not the coach. Only the coach can answer that question. But then it's good to be back here, and love is in the air. Probably that's why you're wearing red glasses. But I think that this crop of players can do a wonderful job in the under 20 World Cup coming up very soon, and then a couple of games they'll be playing some, I think, 2 friendlies before that time. I think the friendlies will determine we can. I know friendlies are not really about after winning the games about how they can adapt to the team style, the chemistry of the players, how the players what they tend to do in certain situations in the zones, attacking wise, defensive wise, the shapes, the zonal marking, and all of that. Those are like the conduits of the team. How they will play in this period will determine how they will play in the competition. But it's not a determinant of whether they play badly or worse or good. Does not determine whether they will do well in the competition. But I feel like it's a period of time for us to watch them closely, see how they play, and of course, and at the unders level, especially when it comes to local competitions, and I think Nigeria have always fared well in such competitions. So I feel like it's a determinant. And of course, we have new players coming in there. A couple of I think we have around 8 to 10 foreign players, is it 8 or thereabouts foreign players coming into the team. Let's see how it plans out. I love the like of Abdullah, the striker coming in to replace I think it was around the corner, but he didn't play. He was not in the previous team selected earlier, you know. And I think earlier in the year he selected 35 players before he dropped it down to 21 players. So that means that the man has an idea of what he wants and where he wants to go to, and he is bringing in new players in there. So of course, what else for the try new players coming in there, young blood, players that actually be hungry, and let's say I pass that for them. Hopefully they do well in the competition and in the days ahead.
Yeah, and of course in Cairo, Nigeria's first game will be against Senegal. That's on the 19th of this month at 9 p.m. Egypt time. Another game they will be playing will also be against Mozambique. They play Mozambique, and that's one. Also, they also have another country in the midst that they will be playing. I mean, for the Flying Eagles of Nigeria, the tournament will start for them on the 19th. So playing the Senegal is going to be a big one. Well, you look at Senegal, and then you look at Egypt also. They're facing the host nation. They're facing Senegal. They're also facing Mozambique. And when you look at these countries, it's looking like Flying Eagles may not just, Mozambique, yes, but Egypt and Senegal, we saw what Senegal have done. They won AFCON, and they told us that, it's not just a fluke winning AFCON because they have all their foreign-based players winning that. But then the ones at home-based players went ahead, in Algeria, they won the championship. So it shows that they're doing a whole lot at the domestic league.
Yes, if you notice, like, they've gotten a local-based coach, probably a Senegalese coach to be their coach for the AFCON, and that tells you something. They're moving in the right direction. The coaching system, the player recruitment, the talent level, the talent development, is moving towards a certain direction. The players and you cannot take away the talent of a country from the country itself. Where they play, the unders levels, the coaching system, how trained that they, and you look at all the World Cup winners for the senior men World Cup winners. No country has won the World Cup with a foreign manager. So that's to tell you that even you will never hear France employing a foreign manager. You never hear England. You never hear Spain employing a foreign manager. Maybe only England anyway. So you're towing towards a certain line of having coaches who are well equipped for that position, who are Senegalese or Senegalese descent, and that's where they are going to. And hopefully, Nigeria start to speak into that context of employing local coaches or employing the Nigerian coaches for such a job and see how it plans out, because
trickles down to all levels.
Yes, all levels, for not just at the grassroots levels, all over for the unders, for under 17, under 20, 21, under 23, and national team ahead.
Yeah, Austin, let's go to London now. Austin, I mean, you've looked at the group where you have Egypt, you have Senegal, you have Mozambique. These are the teams the Flying Eagles will be playing and looking tough when you're in a group like that. Especially, you know what Senegal, what they've been able to do, AFCON and CHAN, that country, though they're senior boys, but then it shows there's something really good that is going on in the domestic league, why they are flying like that.
And what they have going for them now is momentum. And, you could tell that their mentality is right. And that's what is also important for the Flying Eagles. Coach Ladan Bosso has said that they've been able to sustain the momentum that they built from winning the Waffle B competition. That's very, very important, because these guys don't get to play together for too long. So this 1 week training in Casablanca is to put them in the right frame. The right set of mind will be 4 teams will qualify to the FIFA Under-20 World Cup in Indonesia in May. We need to be one of them. And all you need to do is just tell yourself that you're champions. Put up that mentality, because that's what Senegal will bring into the competition in Egypt. Egypt, they are the hosts, and they are also on the verge of, picking their football back again, because now what Morocco has done to that region, it has sparked some sort of reawakening to say, look, if Morocco can be achieving this, then we can also do the same. Don't be quick to say, oh, Mozambique is out of the way. Mozambique, at that level, can also play football, because it's all about development. I'm sure if we want to take a research now, 80% of the players in Coach Ladan Bosso's team, they are not known. So it's very important. When I read his interview, he said they're keeping the mentality from the Waffle B victory in Niamey, Niger. And I think that's very, very important, because the sort of mentality and approach that you use to get into this, having at the back of your mind that the objective is to pick a ticket to the World Cup, that can just make a difference for the Flying Eagles.
All right, Austin, let's go straight to Aikoje Ojekere. He's joining us right now, of course, to talk more about the Under-20 team, what maybe Coach Ladan Bosso can really do to see if Nigeria can win this title for a record 8th time. Of course, Africa, we're the king, but when it comes to the world stage, we've been to the semi-finals, but not been able to, been to the finals also, but not been able to win it. Aikoje, it's good to have you join us. Good evening.
Thank you very much, Sisi. Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Let's get straight into it. Ladan Bosso, of course, we finally saw the list we've been waiting for a while. It's official now. We have 21 players in that particular list for the Flying Eagles of Nigeria that will be flying the flag of Nigeria at the Africa Under-20 Nations Cup. What do you think about this list and maybe some of the players that may be outstanding, and how far can Nigeria go? Okay, I think it's hard for us to get across to Aikoje, having a bit of a network problem from his end. Okay, let's leave this. When he joins us later, we'll go back to the question concerning the Flying Eagles of Nigeria. If they can, be one of the 4 African countries that will be representing Africa at the world stage in May, June this year, Indonesia. That's where the World Cup will be taking place. Quickly go to the CAF Confederations Cup. Just only one Nigeria team that is there at the group that made it to the group stage of the CAF Confederations Cup. Austin, you talked about Rivers United. They started so well this season. I mean, they started so well. They've lost just 1 game in 6, winning 4, 1 draw, and now they are on the continent playing against a side in Congo Brazzaville, and they've left the shores of the country, and that game will be on a Sunday. And of course, for the Nigeria champions, talking about Rivers United, you expect them to be high, but they dropped to that stage, and now they are at the group stage. I mean, what can they do to ensure that they stay? I mean, the group stage is really creative. They can get out of that, they get into the quarterfinals, and then before you know, you have just 3 more games for them to get to the finals and maybe possibly win it.
Yeah, we hope that Rivers United will make this count. They left Nigeria at about 10:30 Nigerian time in the morning. They should be in Congo Brazzaville now, where they will be, preparing to take on Diablo's North. So you see, with the CAF competitions, it's very, very important that clubs know that when you travel and you get a good result, you put yourself in good standing. So Rivers United just need to get into this game with a mindset that, look, if we're not winning, we're not losing. Very, very important, and I'm sure when Ikoje comes up, he knows the team so well, he's going to re-echo the same thing. Because if you go there and then you lose focus, that result will be on your mind when you're playing the second leg. The good thing is they've arrived in good time now. They will rest well today. And then tomorrow, they have a good feel of the playing tough. And then come out on Sunday to see if they can do the Lord's work. I'm sure they'll be beating themselves the way they crashed out of the CAF Champions League. They understand that this is the money spinning stage, that this is the stage of relevance. This is the stage to, stamp your supremacy in Africa. So the technical crew just need to tell the guys, look, you've got enough lessons from your previous experiences. So don't make the same mistakes. Approach this one with everything you have. And then when you go back home, you clean it up. So all the best. Rivers United, I think, is a very decent team. From about the last 3 years, they've shown this level of consistency, and you can tell it's because of the support that they've also received from the state government. So I think they have what it takes to go all the way, but they need a focus. They need, again, let me mention mentalities. It's just something about you being a champion. You need to think about it, and then be it. Rivers United needs to get into that zone. This is a team that I like so much, and they have a lot of quality players, and to an extent they've been able to, be consistent with their technical crew. So they should be able to get something out of Congo Brazzaville if they understand the mission and play with a unity of purpose.
Yeah, that's quite important. I mean, Vincent, you're saying what Austin said concerning, you've heard from Austin, what he said, all they need to do is have that mentality. I mean, look at the players. I mean, they've got the players to do the business. Where you have Chema Kamandu, Yima Wangu. I mean, these are some of the stars you look at and you feel they can actually deliver on Sunday.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, if possible, Austin will probably be their PR. He's always talks. He talks high standard about Rivers United, and that's a good thing because we've seen how they've done in the MPFL over the years, and they've lost one game this season. Yes, and out of 6 games, I think they drew 1 and they won 4. So they're on good form, and you need to keep winning to generate the momentum. And they're going to go in the line of likes of the defunct Julius Berger, who were also tried at a point in the competition to try to win the competition, so which will be a big deal for them if they win the competition this time, and that's the prayer, or that is the word of affirmation or the confession of the average football enthusiast or local enthusiast, the average sport journalist, or like likes of Austin, Cecilia, who want Rivers United to win the competition, and hopefully they do will go well. And as regards the game on Sunday, like I said before, teams usually have issues on the travel, but I think if they are playing going to Congo Brazzaville is not necessarily a hostile side as compared to the northern side of Africa. So I believe that they can get the result in that game away from home.
So no matter the kind of pranks that will happen, Austin has talked about their mentality, which is supposed to be key. If we can get confirmation of the group stage again from the CAF Confederations Cup match day 1 fixtures at Group B, which can just have that confirmation again, where you have Diabo Noahs will be up against Rivers United, and of course you have ASEC Mimosa up against Motembe Pembe of DRC. That's what we have in Group B, and that's the games that will be played this Sunday for Rivers United. They need to see how they can get out of the group and, of course, be able to get to the quarterfinal stage. We've seen some, Nigerian clubs that have been able to get up to the finals. They've not been able to win it. Enugu Rangers, for instance, Hatlat, for instance, Julius Berger, the defunct one. Yeah. They've been to the finals, but they've not been able to win it. Rivers United might just be the first country from Nigeria to win it. Yes, you have the confirmation right now of what is looking like this weekend. Diabo Noah of DR Congo up against Rivers United. Of course, ASEC Mimosa and DC Motembe up against each other from Cote d'Ivoire and, of course, from DRC. But we need to go on a break now. When we come back, we'll be talking about Nigeria Professional Football League and, of course, also touch down on what's currently going on with MFM. We no longer have that club in the league, not even in the NLL. Stay with us. Welcome back. Time to take a look at the fixtures for this weekend from Nigeria Professional Football League. We're starting with Group A, match day 7. What is looking like? Remo Stars and Plateau United will be in action. Remo Stars have already lost 2 games this season. Same thing with Plateau United, but these 2 sides will be facing each other. Shooting Stars and Benin Insurance. Benin Insurance had a blip last weekend, and of course against Gombe, where it was goalless against Shooting Stars. Shooting Stars, of course, won theirs 2-0. Economy Warriors and Aqua United will also be in action. Gombe United and Eimba, another team that will be in action this weekend. Nasarawa United, yet to win a game this season, just 1 draw. They were up against Aqua United, who scored own goal for them to lose their last game against Plateau United. Let's move over to Group B, what the fixture is looking like. Lobby Stars and Bayelsa United will be in action. Sunshine Stars and Abia Warriors will also be in action. Niger Tornadoes and Rangers. Rangers, of course, will try as much as possible to see if they can get something out from this one. And they have Wiki Tourist and Doma United. Okay, now this is not the fixtures for this weekend. We'll just maybe take a look at that fixtures again when it is ready, because I know Rangers will be up against Doma United. We saw what happened to Doma United and Rivers United. That game, Doma United were the ones, stunning Rivers United, which was a shocking one for everyone. But then, if we take a look at that figure, Rivers, Remo Stars and Plateau United, Shooting Star, Bender Insurance, Economy Warriors, Aqua United, Gombe and Eimba, Nasarawa and Kwara United. Then match day 7 Group B. That's where you have Rangers and Doma United. That game is on Saturday. Lobby Stars and Takada, Sunshine Stars and Niger Tornadoes, Abia Warriors and Wiki. Of course, the game between Rivers United and Bayelsa, that game postponed. So that game is not there. Which of these ones will really get you talking? I mean, they really need to look at.
I think funny enough, between Nasarawa United and Kwara United, because Nasarawa are 10th and Kwara United are 9th, so very, very funny fixture. Kwara United have lost their past, in the past 3 games, they've lost 2, they've drawn 1. Nasarawa United have drawn 1 of their last 3 games and lost 2. So that's really an interesting fixture in that game, I think, and also Abia Warriors and Wiki Tories, because Wiki Tories are 8. They've lost. They drew their last the 3rd game, and then the last 2 games they lost. And for Abia Warriors, they lost their past 2 games and they won the recent one last weekend. So that's an interesting feature in there for us. I think those 2 features will be very, very outstanding for them. And of course, we thought that if Bayelsa played, of course, Rivers United are on the continental scene, and Bayelsa United just lost their goalkeeper coach, so disappointing one for them, no doubt, in that area. But we wish the family the best of luck as regards that. So hopefully they get back themselves on good grounds. But those 2 features for me is Nasarawa United and Kwara United, and Abia United and Abia Warriors and Wiki Tourists.
All right, we have Akoje back with us in the studio. Akoje, we're talking about the under-20 team and what we can get from the boys. And you talked about, you kind of agreed with Austin that it's developmental, so no pressure on Ladan, Bosso and the boys.
Yeah, sure, it is developmental. That's what it has always been. I hear we like winning trophies. But the other worry for me is, are we ready to take them to the next level? Considering the fact that what we do all the time is scan Europe looking for Nigerian players or players with Nigerian names, and that worries me. If that's the trend, you agree with me, in the last 8 years, that has been the trend. The new board now is, will there be a U-turn to look at players here? If that is not the case, then the question is, what is Bosso going to do out there in Egypt? So we must there must be a serious attention from the FA looking at players in this team. This is developmental. We're hoping that 1 or 2 guys, even one coming out of here, should be able to force his way into the national team or open the door for him to make
I think
an impact in the team.
Okay.
And that's the way it's been all over the world. Take Egypt, for example, now. You're going to see players. We've got no fewer than 7 players from my team on the Chan, one of the biggest teams in Senegal right now, with a lot of young players. Everybody's talking about young players. So people got young players, then we must give them the chance to excel. And I just hope that the FA should be ready to do that, open the door of the senior national team to see if any of these guys can break it.
Yeah, I think Austin, we'll go to London now. Austin got 1 or 2 questions for you before we go to NPFL.
Yeah. Let's go. Koje, I know you've been following Rivers United for some time. I'm also taking a look at this Congo Brazzaville team, Diabo Noir, and they've been on a good run. I don't think they've lost a match in their last 4 matches. Do you think they pose any threat to Rivers United?
Austin, when you are playing a team called you're playing against a team called the Black Devils. You should be worried. Diable Noir in French simply means Black Devils. So we're going to play against Black Devils. And so you should be worried playing against any color of devil. But then, of course, any team from Congo, from that region, don't forget we also have Motema Pembe from Congo DR. Diable Noir from Republic of Congo. Playing against any team from that region should give you worry. The coaches should know what they have to do. I mean, start well in this group stage. Yima Wagwa is a big man up there with experience. He showed that in the playoff against the Libyan side, and so that's the mentality. They've got an experienced goalkeeper in Seydou Mutawakilo, the Ghanaian goalkeeper from Rangers. He's tall. He's good. I mean, that's a good buy for that. That's a steal. Bringing basketball terms into football. That's a steal for me. So up front and behind, and I think they've got right there. But then again, the mentality when you're playing in that kind of environment, you're playing in Congo, you're playing. I mean, Rivers dropped from the groups from the Champions League. They have not played in the Competitions Cup. In this group, ASEC Mimosa is the other team that also dropped from the Champions League. So Rivers should be able to get a good result at Congo.
Okay, we'll get to see if they can, show character, put the right mentality, because I think they've got enough experience on the continent not to make the same mistakes. So all the best to Rivers United when they take on Diable Noir on Sunday. Let's come to the Nigeria Premier Football League. It seems like these are good times for the league. I don't know about you.
Exciting times for the league, honestly, exciting times. I'm happy with everything that's happening so far. Most especially for me, punishment for referees. I mean, there should be very, very, very minimal margin for errors. Anyway, again, I've seen some goals, and if I had a chance to one-on-one to speak to the referees, I would just ask them, how is this not a goal? I mean, how is this not a goal? I've seen some goals disallowed. I'm not surprised that I like the fact that the NFF has, agreed with the referees committee. Pick them. Any referee who doesn't understand what we are doing with the league in Nigeria means the referee is not fit enough to be in the league. He should go home and stay with his family, and they will ask him why he's not officiating. He should explain to his family he made silly errors, and that's why he was dropped. I mean, at this level, this is 2023. We want to grow the league. The league should be a Nigerian project. And so everyone should be ready to make this work. And that's why I'm happy with the kind of performance we've been seeing from Bendel Insurance, from Global Stars, from a certain Imade Osarenko, who incidentally emerged League Bloggers Award Player of the month of January, just like Monday Otige. I mean, in 6 matches, they're unbeaten. They won 5/5. More like they spread everything geographically. They won in Meduguri. They won in South in Aqua. They came to the Southwest in Ibadan. They beat Kwara United. So Insurance have they've done everything geographically and seem to be working well for them. So when the league starts like this, you want the league to continue and not for anybody or group of persons to come and disturb what it's doing.
Yeah, I think we should be able to be firm. I keep saying it that for our league to get better, now in this case the IMC must be able to step on toes. If you're not ready to do the right thing professionally, then you should be shown the way out. Let's talk about match day 7. What matches are you looking forward to? Can Bendel Insurance still stay unbeaten?
I think it's possible. If that's a challenge for Shooting Stars. Again, you look at the performance. I saw Tracy in Remo. They look different from the Tracy I saw in Lagos during the preseason tournament. Gordon Odibo was introduced, and that just finished Shooting Stars, considered 2 goals. One was even an own goal. At that stage, Alex Agawa couldn't help it. That was a good pull-out from Andy Okwe, and since he was running towards the goalpost, like a trailer that couldn't be controlled anymore, just kicked the ball into the net. I mean, not his fault. It happens in football. That was just how good Remo was on match day. But then can Shooting Stars rise up? Again, the last match they won at home. But playing against Bender Insurance, a team that is in cruise control. They seem to know how to win right now, even though Gombe stopped that winning. But then they're unbeaten, 6 in 3 games. So again, you look at the history of this rivalry from 1972 when both teams started the first season in Nigeria. Both teams were in that season when the league started in Nigeria. Shooting then at WMBC, Bendel Insurance. And they've met in the lower division. They've left that lower division now again in the Premier League. It'll be fantastic to see how, of course, we need a fantastic referee. 2 great teams are playing. What we need from the NFF and the referees committee is to put a great referee who will give us a great match on Sunday. That's right.
And for Remo Stars, you think they can bounce back after that disappointing loss to Aqua in Uyo?
It considered 6 goals in 2 away matches now. 3 in Benin, 3 again in Aqua. I'm wondering why Bankole has from having a clean slate. I mean, the goals have just been coming in. But then, the visibility at home is something that is key. And so, I want to say Play 2. Incidentally, Play 2 has a defender as the highest goal scorer. So, you wonder again what the attackers are all doing at this point in time. So, can Play 2 score against Remo? That's something I want to see. But at home, Remo is fantastic. They play good ball up front. Andy up again leads the attack. Bankole is always also very good. They've got the home support back there out there in Kenya. That's a game I will see, by God's will on Sunday. And I just want to see if Play 2 can stop Remo. But it tells me that Remo will just win again at home.
Cecilia?
Interesting. Before we let you go quickly, Doma United, stunned Rivers United the last week, and they're up against Rangers. Rangers this season, they won just 1 game. What is wrong with Rangers? Can they turn it around, since they're hosting Doma United at home this weekend?
So I didn't get that, Cecilia.
Yeah, Rangers have been they've been having like a very woeful season. They've won just 1 game in 6 matches this season. Not a good one for Rangers. Now they will be hosting Doma United. Doma United, of course, what they did to Rivers United just last weekend, stunning Rivers United, ensuring that their unbeaten run is over. Can Rangers actually, make do with this one and get all 3 points and maybe get their 2nd win of the season?
I think we're having problems connecting with.
I don't understand how Rangers to play good football.
Yeah, okay. Cecilia was asking about Rangers. They've been struggling, just 1 win from 6 matches, and she's saying that look, Doma stunned Rivers United. Does Rangers stand any chance against Doma?
Well, yeah, as I said, Rangers have been comical this season. Losing at home to Abia Warriors. The first 2 goals in the league, incidentally, were own goals scored by Sunshine and the Abia Warriors before they eventually won the game. I don't think Rangers, it's a good season for Rangers. Again, you look at Doma coming from the lower division, the best of the 4. I mean, after you take Bendel Insurance, Doma has also played good football away from home, even at home. Again, that's a team with a team that you don't know. A team coming from the lower division. Insurance have been in and out. Doma just coming for the first time. You don't know much about them, and they appear to be, like a surprise team of one of the surprise teams. So against Rangers, it will be a difficult one for Rangers. I mean, again, Abdul Mekaba is under pressure. The team is not doing well. I look at Rangers and I wonder why Rangers is performing poorly. There's no Christian energy in the team. There's no bite in the team. Seidu left the team. Go in goal. His counterpart, Nana Bosso, is in goal. But Rangers certainly not playing as a team like the Rangers we used to know. I mean, it's sad that in the city while we have Bennett Insurance doing so well.
Yeah.
It's the opposite for Rangers.
Before we let you go, just in a minute, Aikoji, how disappointed are you that MFM FC is no more?
It's painful. It's painful. It's shameful, that will happen. You look at MFM, and I remember Stephen Ode. I remember Sikro Olatubosu. I mean, Agege came alive because of that team. The entire that was like that became that again axis, owned by
on
MFM, and suddenly, if a team goes down, the team should continue. That's not the end of life. I mean, the best you want to see a team come back to the elite class after going down. That's how it is all over. But in Nigeria, when a team goes down, you have to pray for that team to survive. It's shameful that MFM has. I mean, I saw that story that they've sold the slots. Now disappointed, honestly.
Actually, it's painful. I'll just stay with that. We can put the likes of FC Uba in that mix, GYFC, and we need most of these private teams to, actually get our football going. Ikoji, thank you so much for your time. Always a pleasure to have you on Sports Tonight.
Thank you. Pleasure is mine.
All right, let's go back to the Lagos studio now. I'm sure Cecilia is ready to take it from here.
Yeah, all right, I think we just have a few time to run it up. MFM, after 16 years, no more, disbanded. Of course, the slot sold to our club from Bayelsa United, from Bayelsa State. Okay, let's just quickly run through the FIFA Best Award. We'll start with the women, where you have Best Men of England, Arsenal. Yes, we know the reason why she is here, because at the Euros, she was the MVP, not just the best player of the tournament, also she was the highest goal scorer. But then what we have Lionel Messi, of course, starting up with being for the men's award, the Best FIFA Football Awards final nominees. Lionel Messi of Argentina, PSG. Of course, you know what he did at the World Cup, 7 goals, and of course, 3 assists that he had. Kylian Mbappe scored 8 goals at the World Cup. It was highest goal scorer last season for PSG in France. And Karim Benzema, of course, Real Madrid winning the Champions League with Real Madrid, and that is the reason these guys are here. We're not surprised about that. Now, let's go to the women, where you have the ladies nominated. Beth Mead, of course, of England. She is there, 11 goals in 22 games for Arsenal last season. And, of course, for Euros, she scored 6 goals and 5 assists, which was really great for her. That's why she emerged the MVP and also winning the Golden Boot. For Alex Morgan, she won the CONCACAF title with the US. And for San Diego, she scored 15 goals in 17 matches. And that's why she is here. Alessi Putellas, she couldn't go to Euros because she was injured. But for Barcelona, she was the highest goal scorer at the Champions League last season with 11 goals. And not just that, she also won the league title, 3 titles with Barcelona last season. That's why she is here. But that's all we can take on this show. So, Austin, just wrap this up for us from London.
No time anymore. Just give Lionel Messi the best award. Don't waste time with it.
No
That's
debate.
The show. No debate. That's the show in London. Tomorrow, there's a big London derby between West Ham and Chelsea. If Chelsea don't win that one, I'm sure you know it's all over for Graham Potter. In London, I'm Austin Okonakman. In everything you do, remember, keep talking sports. Bye for now.
Rashengo Vicente, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you for having me. In everything you do, remember that love is in the air.
Thank you so much for watching. I'm Cecilia Mogbe. Have a good night's rest.